In the history of North American League of Legends esports, there's a name etched with legend and hardship, Yiliang Peng, better known to gamers as Doublelift, or Big Brother in Chinese. From a dream-chasing teen kicked out of his home to an 8-time league champion, and from the regrets and perseverance on the international stage, his 10-year career is filled with passion and tears. Today, let's follow the timeline to understand the true story of this Chinese-American player. Let's start with his early years. Yiliang Peng was born on July 19, 1993, in Mission Viejo, California, USA. He's a full-fledged Chinese-American with 2 brothers. He's the middle one, and his older brother Yiliang Peng is 7 years his senior. Like many young people, he loved video games since childhood. And it wasn't until League of Legends came along that he found something he was truly obsessed with. It might sound hard to believe, but just 1 month after picking up League of Legends, Yiliang climbed to the top 100 on the North American server. This promotion speed was extremely rare in the gaming community back then, and it directly showcased his extraordinary talent for the game. He had just turned 18, and his life was just beginning, yet he had to face the hardship of homelessness alone. When he left home, Yiliang only took 2 things with him: a small amount of prize money from DreamHack Summer, and his trusty computer. Penniless and homeless, he truly hit rock bottom. Desperate, he posted a thread on Reddit detailing his situation, filled with helplessness and confusion. To his surprise, the thread quickly gained attention from numerous esports fans. Many reached out to help him, not only donating thousands of dollars but also offering various life advice. More importantly, Travis Nomad Gafford, a renowned North American esports journalist, saw the post and directly invited Yiliang to live with him. Thanks to that, Yiliang temporarily had a roof over his head in Travis' small apartment and felt the warmth from a stranger. To make ends meet, he started writing League of Legends tutorials for Team Curse's official website. With his deep understanding of the game and clear expression skills, his tutorials were well received by players, allowing him to barely earn enough for rent and living expenses. Although these days were tough, they tempered his will and made him more determined to pursue his esports dream. He knew clearly that only by achieving results on the professional stage could he prove that his choice was not wrong. While writing tutorials, Yiliang never gave up training. His outstanding performances in various competitions gradually caught the attention of the North American esports scene. At that time, there was a famous North American player named Hotshot GG, who was also the founder of Counter Logic Gaming CLG and known for his Lee Sim play. He had a keen eye for talent and noticed this gifted and resilient young man. Seeing Yiliang's potential, he offered him a spot on CLG, initially as a substitute support player. For Yiliang, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He accepted without hesitation, officially starting his professional esports career. Although he was just a substitute at first, he never discouraged. He trained harder than anyone else, waiting for his chance to step onto the stage. From being homeless to receiving a professional team invitation, this experience became the starting point of his career and laid a solid foundation for his. Now that we've talked about his career start, let's move on to his early years of moving between teams and growing step by step. In the early stages of his career, Yiliang switched between several teams. Although the process was full of uncertainty, it allowed him to accumulate experience in actual battles, transforming from a rookie player to a top ADC in North America. Shortly after being a substitute support at CLG, Yiliang left and joined Epic Gamer, the team that had invited him to DreamHack earlier as a starting support, hoping to get more playing time. During his time at Epic Gamer, he fought side by side with his teammates and gained valuable tournament experience. Unfortunately, the team's overall strength was limited, and they didn't achieve any standout results. Later, he joined Team Unrestricted, and this time he finally got to play his favorite ADC position. This position change allowed his talent to fully shine, and his laning phase dominance and damage output abilities began to show. Before long, Team Unrestricted was acquired by Team Curse, and Yiliang became a member of Curse along with it. During his time at Curse, he repeatedly practiced and coordinated with his teammates, significantly improving his game awareness and team collaboration skills. He also started to make a name for himself in various North American competitions. In November 2011, Hotshot GG invited him again, and Yiliang returned to CLG this time as the starting ADC. Marking the beginning of his peak growth period at CLG, Yiliang dedicated his best 4 years to CLG, growing with the team and experiencing countless setbacks. In 2012, CLG participated in the MLG Fall Championship held in Dallas. In the first round, they encountered the strong South Korean team Najin Sword. The gap in strength was too big, and CLG lost 0-2, falling into the losers bracket. In the losers bracket, Yiliang led the team to a 2-0 sweep of Curse Gaming first, then narrowly defeated the North American team Dignitas 2-1, showing extraordinary resilience. But in the third round, they faced their sister team Siliu and ultimately lost 1-2, missing out on the subsequent matches, and finishing fourth with a $2,500 prize. Although the result wasn't ideal, this competition made Yiliang clearly see the gap between himself and the top teams, motivating him to train even harder. In 2013, Yiliang followed CLG to participate in the North American LCS Spring Split of Season 3. After a hard-fought season, the team achieved good results but failed to advance further in the playoffs, missing the qualification for international competitions. In 2014, CLG's performance was inconsistent. They finished third in the spring playoffs and only fifth in the summer playoffs, failing to qualify for the World Championship for 2 consecutive seasons. This made Yiliang and the team's fans very disappointed. However, by then, Yiliang was already recognized as the best ADC in North America around the transition between seasons 3 and 4. He had precise last-hitting, stable team fight damage output, and several times turned the tide for the team with his own strength. But no matter how strong his individual ability was, he couldn't lead the team to the summit alone. At that time, CLG seemed to be trapped in a vicious circle. They usually played well at the start of the season, but as the season progressed, various problems would arise, leading to a decline in performance. The championship was always an unattainable dream for them. 2015 brought a turning point for Yiliang and CLG in that year's LCS summer split. He led the team to victory after overcoming numerous obstacles, winning CLG's first-ever LCS championship, and qualifying for the 2015 League of Legends World Championship. At the moment of winning the championship, Yiliang was as excited as a child. All the pressure and grievances disappeared in an instant. He proved his worth with his persistence and hard work. But unexpectedly, on the World Championship stage, CLG failed to maintain their good form in the league and ultimately failed to advance from the group stage, finishing 12th, 13th. This World Championship loss dealt a heavy blow to Yiliang and made him confused about the team's future. Even more surprisingly, on October 31, 2015, CLG officially informed Yiliang that they would not renew his contract. This news pushed him into another low point in his career. After leaving CLG, Yiliang joined Team Solomid TSM in October 2015, another top North American team with a strong lineup and profound heritage. After joining TSM, he formed a highly competitive core lineup with the team's star mid laner Skren Bjergsen Berg and support Vincent Biofrost Wang. In 2016, Yiliang led TSM to win the LCS Summer Split, successfully avenging his former team CLG. This was another important milestone in his personal career. But fate seemed to be playing tricks on him. In the 2016 World Championship, TSM still couldn't break the group stage curse. They encountered Royal Never Give Up RNG, the team featuring Uzi at the time, and ultimately stopped at the group stage, one of his many experiences of being eliminated in the round of 16 at the World Championship. In 2017, Yiliang maintained his excellent form, leading TSM to achieve the brilliant feat of 3 consecutive LCS Summer Split Championships. He himself became an undisputed star player in the North American League. But in the 2017 World Championship, tragedy struck again. TSM still failed to advance from the group stage. Years of consecutive losses at the World Championship exhausted Yiliang both physically and mentally, making him determined to seek new challenges. So at the end of 2017, he chose to leave TSM and join Team Liquid TL, which was in a difficult situation at the time. During his time at TSM, Yiliang won several league championships and further improved his personal ability, but the repeated losses at the World Championship remained an indelible regret in his heart. Joining TL at the end of 2017 became another important turning point in Yiliang's career. During his time at TL, he reached the peak of his career. But at the same time, a family tragedy that could destroy anyone befallen him. After joining TL, Yiliang quickly integrated into the team. With his rich competition experience and outstanding personal ability, he led the team out of difficulties step by step, showing strong dominance in the North American LCS League. In 2018, under Yiliang's leadership, TL swept the North American scene, first winning the spring split by overcoming all obstacles, then winning the summer split again, achieving a grand slam for the season. Especially in the summer split, Yiliang's performance was flawless. With precise last-hitting, strong laning phase dominance, and stable damage output in key team fights, he was successfully named the 2018 LCS Summer Split MVP. This honor was the highest recognition of his personal ability, making him the undisputed leader of the North American esports scene. Just as Yiliang's career was at its peak, sprinting towards his world championship dream, a sudden family tragedy disrupted everything. On the night of March 30, 2018, his older brother Yiliang Peng, due to personal relationship issues, lost control of his emotions and stabbed their parents with a knife. After the incident, a neighbor saw Yiliang walking down the street with a knife and immediately called the police. The police arrived at the scene within a minute and found both of Yiliang's parents seriously injured. They were immediately taken to the hospital for emergency treatment. Sadly, Yiliang's mother succumbed to her injuries despite efforts to save her. His father survived but was also severely injured, requiring long-term treatment and rehabilitation. After the incident, Yiliang tried to flee but was arrested by the police on the spot. He was later detained on murder charges and released on $1 million bail. At that time, Yiliang was preparing for the LCS Spring Split final with TL. They had just defeated Team Fox to advance to the final, only one step away from the championship. The final was scheduled for April 9 Beijing time, against 100 Thieves, an affiliate of the NBA's Cleveland Cavaliers. When Yiliang heard the news about his family, he was deeply devastated. He immediately suspended all training and competition-related activities and rushed home to handle family affairs. He also informed his fans on Twitter, saying that he was with his father and younger brother to ensure their safety and make appropriate arrangements. He also mentioned that he might remain silent on social media for a while and hoped that fans could understand and support him. At that time, everyone outside the team thought that Yiliang would definitely not be able to participate in the upcoming spring split final. After all, losing his mother and having his father seriously injured was a blow that no one could bear. But to everyone's surprise, after handling his mother's funeral and arranging for his injured father and younger brother, Yiliang resolutely decided to return to the stage to continue participating in the spring split final. He knew clearly that he bore the team's expectations and didn't want the efforts of himself and his teammates throughout the season to be in vain. Back on the stage, Yiliang's eyes were filled with sorrow, but more with perseverance, an unyielding spirit. In the final, relying on his strong willpower, he suppressed his inner grief and performed exceptionally well, leading TL to defeat 100 Thieves and win the Spring Split Championship, completing the first step of the season Grand Slam. When the game ended, Yiliang didn't celebrate excitedly like he usually did when winning championships. Instead, he walked off the stage silently, his eyes full of exhaustion and loneliness. For him, this championship was not just a trophy, but also a tribute to his mother and a proof of his own perseverance. The family tragedy changed the trajectory of his life. From then on, he no longer fought only for his own dream, but also for his family and all those who supported him. In subsequent games, he turned his inner grief into motivation, working harder on the stage and using victory after victory to heal his inner wounds. Next, let's talk about an important milestone in Yiliang's career, the 2019 Mid-Season Invitational MSI. In this tournament, he led TL to overcome numerous top teams around the world and finally reached the final. Although he didn't win the championship in the end, he set the best record in North American team history at MSI, which was a glory in the history of North American esports. Before that, North American teams had always performed poorly in international competitions and were regarded as a weak region in the global esports landscape. But Yiliang and TL's performance this time completely broke the inherent impression of North American teams from the outside world, allowing the whole world to see North America's esports strength. During the 2019 MSI, Yiliang led TL to show strong competitiveness from the group stage onwards. In the group stage, they faced top teams from all over the world, including G2 Esports from Europe and Invictus Gaming Inc. from China. Although they lost a few games occasionally, their overall performance was stable, and they successfully advanced from the group stage to the knockout round. For Yiliang, this was the first time in many years that he advanced to the BO5 stage of the knockout round in a major international tournament. He had previously stopped at the group stage in the World Championship many times, and this breakthrough filled him and the team with confidence. In the semi-finals of the knockout round, TL faced the defending world champion IG. This game was generally regarded as a lopsided match by the outside world. IG had won the 2018 World Championship in an unstoppable manner, with outstanding individual abilities of the players and tacit team fight coordination. They were the favorites to win the MSI before the game. Almost all media and fans thought that IG could easily win and advance to the final. But Yiliang and TL were not affected by the outside public opinion. They made full preparations before the game and formulated a detailed tactical plan targeting IG's playing style. The 4 games in the semifinals were extremely intense, with suspense in every game. In the first game, IG gained an early rhythm advantage and took the Baron Nashor, but TL did not give up. In the later team fights, they seized the opportunity and successfully reversed the game with Yiliang's outstanding damage output to win the first game. In the second game, TL continued their good form, defeating IG again with tacit team cooperation and precise tactical execution, taking the score to 2-0. In the third game, IG adjusted their tactics and launched a fierce counterattack, successfully pulling one game back. But TL was not affected. They played steadily in the fourth game and ultimately defeated IG 3-1 to advance to the final. This victory caused a sensation in the entire North American esports scene. Yiliang's performance in the game was particularly outstanding, dealing explosive damage in key team fights several times and becoming the biggest contributor to the team's victory. After advancing to the final, TL's opponent was G2 Esports from Europe. G2 also performed excellently in this MSI, known for their aggressive playing style and flexible tactics. In the final, although TL fought with all their strength, they were ultimately defeated by G2 0-3, regrettably winning the runner-up. Although they didn't win the championship, Yiliang and TL had already made history. They were the first North American team to reach the MSI final. This achievement greatly enhanced the status of North American esports and made Yiliang a legendary figure in the history of North American esports. In an interview after the game, Yiliang said that although he felt regretful, being able to achieve such results was already very difficult, and it was the result of the entire team's joint efforts. For him personally, the experience of this MSI made him more determined in his dream and also made him see the competitiveness of himself and the team on the international stage. This runner-up was not only an important achievement in his career but also injected strong motivation into the development of North American esports, inspiring more North American esports players to pursue higher honors. Time came to 2020. Yiliang made a decision that surprised everyone. He left TL and returned to TSM. This return brought him another milestone in his career, but also an unforgettable loss. After returning to TSM, Yiliang teamed up with his former teammates Bjergsen and Biofrost again, forming a familiar core lineup. The reassembly of this lineup filled fans with expectations. At this time, Yiliang already had rich competition experience and a mature mindset. He hoped to prove himself again at his former team and lead the team to better results in the league and the World Championship. In the 2020 LCS summer split, Yiliang led TSM to show strong competitiveness, advancing to the playoffs with excellent results in the regular season. In the playoffs, TSM defeated several strong teams in succession and finally advanced to the final. In the final against FlyQuest Fly, Yiliang performed stably, leading the team to defeat the opponent with precise last-hitting and outstanding damage output in key team fights, winning the 2020 LCS Summer Split Championship. This championship was the 8th LCS championship in his career, making him the player with the most championships in the history of the North American LCS League, setting a record that is hard to surpass. In an interview after winning the championship, Yiliang couldn't hide his excitement. He said that being able to return to TSM and win the championship again meant a lot to him, and it was the best reward for his persistence and hard work. With the Summer Split Championship in hand, TSM qualified for the 2020 World Championship S10 as the first seed from the North American region. And Yiliang, with this qualification, became the first player in history to reach the World Championship 8 times, once again shattering the historical record of League of Legends Esports. For Yiliang, reaching the World Championship 8 times was the best proof of the length of his career, and it also brought him closer to his dream of winning the World Championship. Before the start of the World Championship, Yiliang and TSM were highly anticipated by the outside world. Fans hoped that they could break the curse of North American teams at the World Championship and achieve better results. But fate played another cruel joke on Yiliang. In the group stage of the 2020 S10 World Championship, TSM was grouped in Group C, along with Gen.G from South Korea, Fnatic FNC from Europe, and LGD Gaming LGD from China. In the first round of the group stage, TSM was in poor form, losing to GEN, FNC, and LGD in succession, suffering 3 consecutive losses. Entering the second round, TSM tried to adjust their form but still couldn't find a way to win, losing 3 more games in a row. In the end, TSM was eliminated at the bottom of the group with a 0-6 record, becoming the first seed team to be eliminated with a winless record in the S10 World Championship. This result shocked and disappointed everyone, and it also dealt one of the heaviest blows to Yiliang in his career, reaching the World Championship 8 times, being eliminated in the group stage many times, and this time being eliminated with such a dismal record for Yiliang, who had been pursuing the World Championship dream. It was undoubtedly a huge regret. After the group stage, Yiliang posted a long article on his personal social media, expressing his guilt and regret, apologizing to the fans who supported him and the team, and conducting in-depth reflection on his own performance. This loss at S10 greatly affected his mindset and made him start to re-examine his career. Although he had won many league championships, the repeated losses at the World Championship became an eternal pain in his heart. This painful experience also laid the groundwork for his subsequent retirement, after experiencing repeated ups and downs between peaks and valleys. The heart of this North American legendary ADC was already full of exhaustion. On November 25, 2020, Yiliang officially announced his retirement, ending his 10-year professional esports career. However, after retiring, he did not leave the League of Legends field he loved. Instead, he transformed into a commentator and streamer, continuing to shine in the esports industry. As a commentator, relying on his deep understanding of the game and rich career experience, he was able to bring professional and vivid tournament explanations to the audience. His commentary style was unique, both humorous and professional, which was deeply loved by the audience. As a streamer, he often interacted with fans during live broadcasts, sharing his game experience and stories from his career. He also played ranked games with other streamers, showing his still excellent game skills. During the period of transforming into a commentator and streamer, Yiliang slowly emerged from the shadow of competition losses, enjoying the happiness brought by League of Legends in a new identity and allowing fans to see a different side of him. But his love for the professional stage made Yiliang unable to truly put down the mouse and keyboard. In 2023, he made the decision to come out of retirement, joining 100 Thieves and stepping onto the professional stage again. When he came out of retirement this time, Yiliang was already 30 years old, which is considered an elderly age for esports players. But relying on his persistence in his dream and unremitting efforts, he maintained a high-intensity investment in training, trying to regain his peak form. Although this comeback experience at 100 Thieves did not yield outstanding results, Yiliang did not give up. By 2025, Yiliang made news of his comeback again. This time he chose to join near airport to continue his esports career. More notably, he also recruited several former esports star players, including the controversial TF Blade, as well as his former teammates at TSM and TL, Spiker, Pabelta, and Biofrost, forming a veteran team. Yiliang said in a live broadcast that he chose to recruit TF Blade because he valued his talent. Although TF Blade had many controversies in the esports circle, he believed that in a professional team environment, TF Blade could display his strength. At the same time, he hoped to use the influence of these players to attract more attention to North American esports. This team, composed of multiple veterans, aimed to compete in the NSCL qualifiers and then strive for promotion to the North American Top League LTA League of the Americas. Yiliang also revealed in the live broadcast that if the team could successfully top the North American Top League, he would not choose to stay in the team because he was no longer accustomed to the lifestyle of a professional player. But he still hoped to contribute his own strength to the development of North American esports. From a professional player to a commentator and streamer, and then to coming out of retirement multiple times to compete on the stage. Yiliang's esports career was full of twists and turns, but he always stuck to his love. His story not only inspired many North American esports players but also became a legend in the global esports circle. No matter whether he can achieve brilliant results again in the end, Yiliang's love and persistence for esports are worthy of everyone's respect. He used his actual actions to interpret the true meaning of persisting in dreams and became an irreplaceable iconic figure in the history of North American League of Legends esports.